In February of 2019, 4A Games released Metro Exodus, the third installment in 4A series of games based on Dmitry Glukhovsky's Metro book series, although of all of the games, Exodus is the least connected to the original novels. And now, I've played through the entire thing, and I'm going to recap and review it to you in hopefully less than 2 hours. So, let's begin. The first thing I saw upon starting the game for the first time was this. So I fixed that, and then after customizing my graphics settings so I wasn't playing at a tiny resolution, I hit play and was greeted with a very long cutscene.
I still remember life before the war. I remember that we used to be different. Used to live up there, on the surface. We used to be the masters of the whole world. We built gigantic cities of glass and steel. We crossed the oceans at will. And we also conquered the skies. There used to be 7 billion of us. We were not born for life in the tunnels. I was born to breathe fresh air, and I remember it. The 7 billion were wiped out by the last war. Only 50,000 managed to survive underground, with the surface poisoned, burnt, and teeming with horrible monsters. One day the radiation on the surface might subside, and our grandchildren or their grandchildren might be able to return there. At least that's what my brothers in arms from the Order believe. Basically, there was no hope for us right off the start. Still, we humans are just too bad at surrendering. We tried to make the best of what we had, banded together, and worked to make the Metro our new home. After all, it might well be the only place left on Earth for humans to live. For a time, we thought we could make it. But, regrettably, the war didn't kill our bad habits. In the relative safety of the tunnels, corruption festered. And when danger came from above the ground, only a few of us stood against it, our numbers dwindling by the day. But I remember we were born for a better life, and I can't accept that I'm destined to grow old and die underground. I don't care if I'm called an idiot. But if even a single shard of the old world still exists out there, I have to find it. Between endless years of hopeless existence and even a single moment of hope, I must choose hope. I must find that signal.
This cutscene provides some important backstory, but it's a lot of sitting and waiting for just starting the game. The context is basically that Artyom, the player character, wants to find life outside of Moscow, and that he runs with the Order, a group living in the Metro. Also the whole nuclear war thing. My camera descended to the surface, and I took control of Artyom before entering the sewers. They were littered with corpses and fungi and probably infectious diseases. Hint, hint. Oh boy, I sure hope I won't come across any dangerous creatures as I open this door. Oh, god damn it. I slashed that fella, got attacked by some fellas, and was rescued by Duke, Demir, Idiot, and Alyosha, my fellow Order members. Oh, by the way, I thought Idiot's name was literally Idiot until someone addressed him by name, you know, verbally. Demir and Duke dragged me back into the metro and gave me some Spartan blood, which I think is 1920 slang for morphine. Some of this audio is a little messed up, but I do have subtitles, so you'll just have to bear with me.
Are you awake? It's okay. The doctor said you'll be fine. Are you trying to kill your worry? What next time you don't return to the surface? There's no one out there, Artyom. No one to find, no one to talk to. If there was, don't you think they'd be here already? We've talked about this again and again. You have to accept it. There's only us.
Colonel! Hello, Alex. There you are, you stubborn fool. How many times are we going to have this conversation? I don't care if you kill yourself over this silly dream of yours. But don't you see what you're doing?
Dad, please.
The order is short on men after the battle. But you leave people. You pursue your selfish obsession. But now this shit has to stop. There's only Metro, nothing else. And the order is here to defend it. Because if not us, then who? You look fine to me. So get ready to go. Then we'll discuss your transfer to Polis.
So, if it wasn't obvious from that interaction, this game does a sort of silent protagonist thing, but it includes dialogue from Artyom during the loading screens in the form of journal entries. Honestly, I don't mind it. The whole start of that trend was to make the player feel more like they're controlling their own story without the character speaking out of turn from what the player is thinking. But the journal entries here still give some guidance to how Artyom is feeling. I entered a bar and greeted the fellows, including Stam and Stepan, two Order members I hadn't met previously. At this point, it's obvious that Artyom's exploring of the surface is rather destructive of both him and the people around him, wasting medical supplies and getting his adult wife put in the timeout corner or whatever by her dad, who is also Artyom's boss. But, like, I'm sure something's gonna change one day. We then descended this building while conspiring to move into a 2-bedroom apartment, and then got attacked by more beasts, letting out a sizable amount of bullets and a lot of noise. The combat in this game is just fine, at least most of the time. It's pretty standard, headshots do more damage, good aim conserves ammo, but you can melee if you want, and the enemy's capabilities are also pretty ordinary. We then went back into the street and got intercepted by a whole pack of beasts, whom we slew with ease, before Anna and I advanced, and we got hit with a blizzard. Additionally, I found this.
Artyom, are you seeing this? I'm not just imagining things, right?
Basically, this means there are actually people outside of here. And also, across that bridge, I found some more soldiers from the Order, which picked me up.
You should have checked first, assholes. Artyom, thank God. These people, they're Hansa, not the Order. Assholes. They did a number on you. Well, Dad will reward you for that. Yours anyways. You putting this like you're not from here.
Our village is about 200 kilometers from here.
What village? You're not from?
Just a regular village. Never came back. Then we got caught by these here.
You mean there's life outside?
Sure, there are lots of battle places and lots of beasts around, but we still get by.
Artyom, you were right. People really do live out there. We didn't know. We thought we were the only survivors. God, we'll tell the whole metro about this. Hey, you people drove us halfway to nowhere. At least give them their masks back.
As far as Anna knows, I'm currently dead, so I'd better catch up with her. I grabbed myself a gas mask, some medicine I found on the floor, and found another train that I followed to a facility. Crawling into the facility, I saw an entrance with 2 soldiers pointing their guns directly at it, and one entrance that was safe. So I naturally decided to get shot at. I didn't. I'm just simply trolling. I heard a man that the subtitles referred to as Yermak objecting to the soldiers' killing of innocents. As they were tossing him in the slammer, I emerged from a vent shaft to break him out. We had an angle to sneak in from, and Yermak told me that Anna had been captured for interrogation. I disabled some lights and immediately got shot and killed by soldiers because I have negative stealth capability. I respawned and crawled to this upper level, and Yermak instructed me to do a stealth takedown, which, unlike the last stealth thing I did, I had no trouble with. I then had to throw these decoys to distract the guards, and we snuck into wherever we're going right now. I crawled through the vent shaft and heard Anna being interrogated, and had a brief encounter with some soldiers.
What is this equipment? What? Do you hear that, Artyom? You were right all along. Do you see? It's not just Russia out there. It's the whole world. Oh my God. What for?
And you behave like fucking kids!
All the guards will be here soon. Damn. Artyom?
You have to run! Is this yours? They just left it sitting there. We must get out before they recover. Guards!
I headed out into the courtyard where I kept death looping for about 6 minutes before getting into the hangar. In the hangar, I was informed that Yermak had been captured, and I proceeded to Deathloop for about 15 minutes before realizing I needed to go for stealth.
Am I glad to see you here?
Are you alright?
I'm fine, thank you. All right. We don't have much time. They'll be back. I'll go to the engine. It should be ready now. You go up there and switch the turntable mechanism on.
Anna joined me in fighting, and Yermak got a train ready for us to bring the order on and get out of Moscow. Anna and I were quickly spotted, although this section wasn't quite as bad for deaths as the last few. We found a control panel, and here it was revealed to me that if there is too much light and it's washed out, or not enough light and it's too dark, it's borderline impossible to see enemies. Right after that, Anna had to turn this crank to get the train juicing or whatever, and then Anna and I boarded the train, and right as we escaped, more soldiers showed up.
What do you mean, shoot these two? Is this the right or something? The Colonel will give you his mind now. Colonel, sir, we have a situation here.
Dad! Guys! It's us! Help us!
What the hell? What are you doing here? Colonel, this will be court-martial for all of you. All right, everyone, shut up! I can't believe this. Just coffee and shit.
This is true. You are working for them? The bastards shot Artyom! They...
How did you end up here? It doesn't matter. You have no idea what you just got your heads in. We've no moves left. Hansa can't take this life down. The watcher locked.
No! I won't be quiet! What is this jammer for? Why are they hiding the fact that Moscow didn't survive alone? There, in the ravine, there are people from other cities dead! All of them! Women, children!
I'll tell you all later. Gramps, what's going on out there? Down this road. The road is fine. At least until a 100-click mark. Is there a safe place to stop nearby? Of course. We have to make haste though. They called the cruiser. All right, gentlemen. Artyom and Anna have just made a huge mess. And they can't go back to Moscow now. The wartime legislation dictates they be killed. In any case, I have to get them out of town until it all blows over. But you all should stay. Hear me, Major? My people are in no way related to this misunderstanding at the Jabba.
Of course, Artyom, Anna, they are with us.
There is no one behind. If not us, then who? Then who? All right, Spartans, throw these overboard.
This next bit of audio is especially fucked, but it's basically just Anna celebrating that we know there's other life.
I'm so glad the boys supported us. But I didn't work to them about this either. We spent years in Metro, thinking the world was burnt to a crisp in the war. Circled Moscow with those jammers, and we were... How pick up them? Radiated on the surface. My father
a warning. If you do not comply, we will shoot to kill.
Happy now? Is this what you were hoping for?
You knew everything and never said
Oh, fuck! Are you okay?
Okay, we're stopping.
We then reason a little, fake out stopping our train, and I'm given some explosives and told to fuck shit up. I fought through the train for a while, dying a handful of times, before the officer in charge of the train caught onto us and was no longer holding back. I planted the explosives, jumped back aboard my train, getting helped by Duke, and...
Hell yeah!
John, thank goodness you're okay.
Now we are not just traitors. We are honest-to-God enemy saboteurs.
And that is the end of the first mission. It's a tutorial, it's got decent enough implementation in the ways it teaches mechanics and introduces the story, but I think it could have done a bit more to introduce you to the gun customization system, and by a bit more I mean like anything at all. It also could have done some more for the more niche mechanics, but it's still a fine introduction.
We stopped 100 clicks from Moscow to check our Geiger counters. The thing is, they are all in the green, as if they're in a conspiracy. Still, this amazing piece of news doesn't really impress anyone that much. The guys are all confused as to what to do next. And I'm just waiting for answers. And hoping the commander, whom until recently I trusted implicitly, is going to be extremely persuasive in his reasoning.
I woke up on the train and we were figuring out exactly what to do next beyond keep looking. And Miller disclosed his affiliation with the others.
Everybody can help but wonder, what next? Where do we go from here?
Yes, more or less what I expected from you. But you got the picture. So, is your counter functioning? Have you checked it?
Yes, it's all green. Double checked it. Stepan's in the green too. We don't need masks here.
So, they were telling the truth.
Who was telling the truth? Why won't you answer? Who were those people trying to kill us? Why would they shoot at you, the Order's commander? Explain something, at least. You owe us that.
Well, I might as well drop the bomb now. The war did not end.
What do you mean, did not end?
Let me finish. Most of our cities are destroyed. The rest of the country is probably under enemy occupation. To avoid new nuclear attacks against us, Command chose the only viable course of action: to play dead. To ensure radio silence, the SHIELD system was created. A network of radio jammers covering Moscow and suburbs. So that some radio enthusiasts wouldn't bring more bombs down on our heads by whining on air. And it's one of these jammers that got disabled by the hands of those present here.
Could you not have shared that before? Say, before Artyom took that radio outside and caught all that radiation?
No! I only got briefed half year ago. Under a strict, you talk, you die policy. And then had to tell my people we were securing a weather station.
Sir, with all due respect, if we can't go back, maybe we should advance and move on?
I have an idea, but... Artyom, rather than carrying on with this silent disapproval of yours, check the airwaves. We should be out of the jamming range by now, so give it your best try. Look for transmissions from the Ark. Do you understand now why we...
I scrubbed the radio until we got a signal. The person on the radio telling us the location of the Ark, where we could live forever in peace and everything would be totally fine. After having a drink to celebrate, we chose the name of our train. I liked Alyosha and Duke's suggestions of Anna and Beelzebub, but Idiot suggested Aurora and we settled on that. I genuinely didn't start playing this game until after I had posted the Subnautica video, and didn't realize I'd be making back-to-back videos on games with very important vehicles named Aurora. But anyway, I continued on to the next mission, the Volga. But before that, I'm going to go over the entire crew currently on the Aurora. Miller is the leader of the Order, also referred to as the Colonel, and he basically just runs things. Artyom is the player character, described by Miller as one of his subordinates later on. Anna is Artyom's wife and Miller's daughter, and one of the most important characters in the game. Duke is the youngest member of the Order, serving as another goon of Miller, and described as more risk-prone, yet still a capable soldier. Demir's only character trait is being from Kazakhstan, but I guess he's, loyal or whatever. Alyosha is an alpha male stud gigachad who, had he not been a child before the war, would have probably spent all day hunting gazelle and fucking women, probably. Stepan is another fighter, and he's one of the only soldier characters you don't really go on a mission with during the game. Tokarev makes the weapons and armor for the Order, and also never joins you in a mission, though he doesn't really fight at all. Sam is an American and Miller's right-hand man, generally being quite loyal to him. Idiot is another fighter who never really goes on any major missions with you. Also, the game literally never makes a joke about his name, which had to take some restraint. And Yermak is the train conductor, who we just brought along from Moscow. Maybe there's more, I don't know, I didn't fact-check the script because I'm lazy and make bad content.
After all those years in the underground, the air of the surface seemed incredibly fresh, intoxicating. But that was not what had caused the crew's euphoria. Our journey finally got a definite purpose provided by the transmission from the government bunker in the Urals. For 20 years, we thought that neither the government nor military high command had survived. Turns out they're still around. Where were they while we were eating each other alive in the metro? We'll have a lot of questions for them once we reach Yamantau, if we reach it. The ruins of our country are under enemy control, according to Miller, and we'll have to fight through to our goal. A small team against the occupation armies? What are the chances that we'll succeed? That we'll get some answers?
I then woke up outside at the front of the train.
People! There are people there!
There weren't many people there, but we fucked up our train enough for it to be temporarily inoperable. After a brief regrouping, the colonel tasked Anna and I to investigate a town the crew had spotted just before our roadblock accident. And so we headed out. While walking, Anna spotted a rabbit, and I killed it because I thought I'd get something from it. But I didn't, and then I felt bad because I just killed a rabbit for no reason. Anyway, Anna climbed to a vantage point to watch and/or snipe, and I got into a boat. I will say, while this boat controls fine, it's a boat, and it was kind of disorienting as someone who has actually used small boats like these, because normally you paddle the opposite direction of what you're turning, but here it's just A is left and D is right. Anyway, I entered this church, and there were a bunch of worshippers chanting about how electricity is a sin, which is, of course, based. There was also a little girl talking about how they're terrible and killed her father, which is unfortunately cringe. I then entered a tower where I found a woman named Katya and her daughter Nastya, who was the little girl from before. I was about to kill the mother for rhyming her child's name with hers and making me sound dumb when I read it in the script, but I had to flee before that. Also, Anna is going to go to the tower to rescue them. I realize I keep flipping between Anna and Anna, and I don't care. You know, the real crime here is eating meat. Look at the conditions these pigs are living in. Somehow Anna got from her sniping spot to the church and back to the Aurora in like 30 seconds after I got into my boat. Also, Duke is here. I'm sure he won't need to save my life in about 5 seconds or anything.
It's fucking huge!
I was about to head to the Aurora, and Duke was talking, and it took me a bit too long to realize these were just random voice lines, so he's not totally silent when you're around him. I then spotted the Aurora getting attacked by a fucking manticore or something, and I boarded after
Great
it
job
fled.
saving them, Artyom. Katya here has provided us with vital information. A mechanic called Crest is hiding in the port. His help is required if we're to fix the Aurora in the foreseeable future. Yermak can't handle the repairs alone. So, once you're ready, go to the port and invite Crest to join us. And then get back ASAP. We'll have to decide what to do about the fanatics on that bridge. Now we know for sure that the bridge is in working order. They crossed it last year when they got here. Well, at least some things are clearer now. But still, so many questions.
So now I have to go find Crest to get the train in working order. Small problem, I don't actually know what he means by port. Does he mean the whole area? The cranes? The buildings? Is he hiding out in the shore? What actually is a port? Where am I? Can I go home? Where's the nearest bus stop? Is there a train station nearby? When is the next train running? Yes, it turns out there's a nuclear war and the trains aren't running. Also, I have no idea where Crest is. I ran around aimlessly, not even really looking for the guy, but I did find one of his hideouts. It's basically a bed, a workstation, and a voice recording that tells me absolutely nothing. Though I did craft some medkits. I then actually headed to the port. Turns out Crest is hiding in one of the cranes, and he yelled at me from up top to get to the roof of this warehouse, and he'll lower the crane, giving me a path to him. It took him a very long time to lower the crane, most of which I spent beating the shit out of ghouls, but eventually I climbed onto the crane. Crest then took about 1 hour to explain that I'm very cool and awesome, he hates the cultists, and he'll join our crew since he was planning on heading east anyway. He then showed me around his cozy 60-square-foot New York City apartment, and I ziplined out of the port. Ziplining is a surprisingly important mechanic in this game. Like, I think there's at least 2 zip lines in every chapter. While heading to the Aurora, I got a transmission from Miller.
Sam, come here. Come in. Anna went off the grid. Any ideas? Anybody know anything?
She was going to check out those antennas some 200 meters from the Aurora. She said she saw something there.
Phone? What the hell? And what did you all do? Artyom, get there on the double. Get your act together, people. There may be no NATO troops walking around, but it still doesn't mean you can act like a bunch of tourists. Miller, over and out.
I arrived at the Aurora and ended my first gameplay session. Kicking off my second session, I spent literally 2 hours running around because I'm stupid and didn't check the map to see where Anna was, or remember that someone said she was exploring the radio tower 200 feet from the Aurora. I actually spent slightly less than 2 hours running around, but then passed the 2 hour mark being in the correct area, but not knowing the exact place I needed to explore. But I did eventually fall down this hole and find Anna at 2 hours and 10 minutes into my second recording.
Artyom, I heard there. But I heard you. Couldn't leave you.
You know, they could have done some animation to make it look like she's really coughing here, but nah, she's just rocking back and forth a little. I then spent slightly longer than a respectable amount of time trying to find the crank to open this door, and right as I did, the guys arrived.
What is this place?
See the barrels? They're chemicals of some kind. Storage or it's been dumped. Been put there by the locals to mark the spot.
Thank you, my love.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I arrived at the train, and the colonel wanted to speak to me.
We have an opportunity to cross the bridge without an assault. There are trade caravans going up the river, and the bridge dwellers do business with them. So, Disguised as such traders, we will infiltrate the bridge and lower it. Katya says it still works. They won't be able to stop us if we move fast. And should they try, we'll cross it no matter what those fanatics think. They want blood, they will get it. So now, we only have to wait for the trader's boat.
Colonel, sir, we can't just leave them here. They will be eaten alive.
Stepan, did you ever try using your head? Do you know where we are going? What we are going to face on the way there? Where, pray tell, are they going to sleep on the Aurora? Atop the coal crates? We Spartans can handle it. But for a woman with a 6-year-old daughter, no less, this is unacceptable.
I'll give them my bedroll and move into the
You
stokehold.
will fall asleep and get your throat cut. The next day you'll get guard duty after trying to sleep there.
Still, I know we can't leave them.
Let's just collect that carriage Katya told us about while we wait. We can't leave the child here. And anyhow, how long are we going to sleep in turns for?
Are you starting that again? How? Huh? How are we going to collect that carriage? I'm not taking the Aurora there.
Oh, you don't need it. I have a rail car hidden in a terminal. It can tow a carriage like nobody's business. Artyom and I can go get it and bring the carriage back.
No way I'm letting you go. It will take us both till morning to finish the repairs, and I can't handle it myself in time. Okay, have it your way. I'm done playing the monster here. We get that carriage. We take the civilians with us. Artyom, will you handle this? Listen, Artyom, if the caravan is sighted...
So, basically, the colonel only allowed this mother and daughter on the train because he had a convenient solution that he wouldn't have to do any work for. Yeah, I don't like this guy. I hope he gets punished by karmic forces. Now, maybe he'll have a redemption arc, but I am nothing if not a hater. Also, now I have to get Nastia's teddy bear and a guitar that some bandit people were using that Stepan could play, and I started by killing dozens of men who, as far as I know, are innocent, so I could take their guitar because they were bad at playing it. After murdering the residents of this tower, I freed a captive villager they had, so no, yeah, not innocent, but also they were very bad at playing it. I secured the instrument and returned to my journey. I met Duke in this broken down train compartment where he briefed me on what to do next, and I cleaned and upgraded my guns. I got this really good assault rifle with a suppressor and scope, and now my shotgun's also pretty good too. I saw another one of those flying things and fought it, wasting all of the ammo I just crafted, as well as a handful of medkits. I then entered an abandoned factory in which I should find the railcar I'm looking for. To be clear, when I say abandoned, I mean this thing looks like it was falling apart before it got hit with a nuclear bomb. Also, it's a bit confusingly laid out. Here I seem to overexert myself and die of heart failure climbing this ledge. The guy I freed at the tower was one of those electricity cult people and gave me a key to a room where they keep forbidden technology, as he figured it would be of use to me. And in there, I found some guns and night vision goggles. They aren't as clear, and also everything is green, but it's a suitable alternative to the flashlight. I then ran around trying to find anything, and this happened. I got contacted by the boys who had lost my signal and assumed I was dead or otherwise missing, but after sending the local ghoul population plummeting, I opened a path and rotated a tube, allowing me to flee on the railcar. I got back in contact with the crew and entered the bandit-occupied train station. This segment is honestly pretty annoying. I got very frequently sniped by enemies I couldn't see, and I had limited medkits. And by limited, I mean none. Also, sometimes the NPCs in this game are fucked. Like here, this enemy wasn't even bothered by the fact that I literally shot him with a gun and immediately killed me. Anyway, I took this ladder on the left side of the building and entered the roof. There are other ways in, but I found this one the safest with easy high ground on the enemies below. So, I'm here to get the passenger car, and after clearing the station of enemies, I couldn't figure out how to actually open the door, and I had been through enough shit fighting the enemies on this mission, and decided to end my session there. Yeah, this session was about 4 hours long, and I'd say I spent about 3.5 hours death looping or getting lost. I mean, literally all I did was find Anna and get the rail car. But anyway, starting session 3, I actually opened the door and took the rail car back to the Aurora. The crew were very grateful, but once again, I needed to talk to Miller.
You're back. You did great. Thank you. So, here's the plan. Your group captures the tugboat. Then you, Duke, and Crest take it to the bridge. While Crest distracts the guards, you and Duke infiltrate the control room at the top and lower the bridge. On your mark, we'll ram the gate, pick you up, and I pray to God it works out. I can't give you or Duke any direct support. The data we have tells us the enemy's main force is guarding the gate. One more thing, Artyom. Look after Duke, all right? He's a great scout, but prone to unnecessary risks. Sure, he's young, but if he continues like that, who knows what will happen, huh? So give him a good example and do it smoothly and quietly. You are his role model, and as such should remember that you are special forces, not tank jocks. Good luck, Artyom.
Now, while the port is closer, and that's where I need to go, I will instead get the teddy bear, as that is much more critical to the mission. Yeah, this was basically just going through the same areas I had already been in when I was wandering for 2 hours, but I did find the bear. I returned to the train as I could hit it on the way to the port, and honestly, the scene returning Nastia's teddy bear is pretty cute.
Teddy? Teddy! Are you really back? You're my hero, Teddy!
I will say some of Nastia's lines are delivered kind of strangely, but I will assume her actor is a child, so I won't blame her for it. I arrived at the port where Anna described the plan to me.
You made it. So, they have more guards than we anticipated. It seems risky, but Crest says such caravans are usually commanded by a captain. So if we capture him, the others will surrender. They have about 15 guards. 4 at the tugboat ladder, sentries at the pier. Sam will take the right flank. Come in, Sam.
I'm in position. I can see a guard.
Duke is to the left of the hangar. Come in.
Duke in position, ready to pick the guard off.
Idiot is on the far crane.
Ready for action. Got a mark on everyone on the pier.
Crest has scouted out the basement.
There's only 2 of them here. Busy repairing something, so this seems to be the best spot for quiet entry.
Well, Artyom, we are all set. You managed to get out of the church quietly, so let's make this one the same.
Yeah, it's no fun beating up immature soldiers like them.
Cut the chatter. All right, Artyom, you're in charge. You call the shots. Okay, well, it's high time we started. So try to get on that tugboat. We'll give you cover.
I then proceeded to open fire with absolutely no stealth and die for it. Although I never actually opted for stealth on any other attempts. I just kept trying to brute force it until I killed most of the soldiers and the remaining ones surrendered. Soldiers surrendering is actually a really cool mechanic. It can save time not having to pick off scattered soldiers one by one. A couple of times, though, I accidentally killed soldiers when I meant to just knock them out and take their ammo, and I think that ended up hurting me in the long run. I'll explain later. I then boarded the tugboat.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! I can pay the goods. Take them. You can take the goods.
Stay calm, it's us!
Great job, Artyom.
Artyom, all of our guys are fine. You did great. A shame we couldn't do it quietly.
So, you guys ready to set off? Too late if you're not. We have no time to waste.
Come on, guys. I hope the winds are fair and the waters are smooth. And Artyom, watch it out there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need that luck, all right. Fair winds.
Hurrah! Man your stations, weigh anchor!
We're gonna go about halfway there, then wait in the reeds until about 4 o'clock. We want to get there early in the morning when the fog is the thickest and they're sleepy after the morning prayer. Artyomich, Duke, you're on final approach. There. See that fire at the very top? That's the control post. What used to be anyway. Now it's a shrine, блять. Closer to God at the top, you see?
And then we pulled up to the bridge, and Duke and I climbed on while Crest distracted the guards. This mission is basically just a bit of stealthing around and resisting the urge to kill innocent people unprovoked. But then I got to the top floor and assumed I was safe, and then they shot me unprovoked. I died a few times up here and noticed this boat. I'd seen it before, but I didn't realize I had to jump onto it to get across. I eventually found a control module for the bridge in which Silantius, the leader of this cult, was hiding.
So you got me, you damn heretics. You took Katya, and now you have me.
Damn, you're quicker, Tom. Look, old man, we're just passing through. Let us through peacefully. Our guys won't shoot, or this place is going bye-bye. And Katya, you don't have to worry about her anymore, understood?
For deceiving Katya, you must pray to the Lord for forgiveness, not for murdering my children, the children of God. You will burn in hell until the end of days. Sound the alarm! Heretics! Charge them!
The Germans! Damn, I've been hit! Aurora, full steam ahead! Do you copy? Artyom, get away! I'll take it from here! Artyom, jump!
And I guess there lies Duke. I can't imagine he was laid to rest peacefully, but he helped me out before he passed. Well, kinda. See, in this game, not all of the characters meet the same fate in every playthrough. They're controlled essentially by the morality of you. If you ever happen to fall down a rabbit hole becoming extremely invested in a game for a week and that game happened to be Red Dead Redemption 2, you know that it does a similar thing, but to a less extreme extent, where some lines the character acts are more cold and uncaring if you do unnecessary crime and murder, etc., immoral actions. Although there are no deaths or major plot points that are decided by character morality in that game as far as I know.
We left Volga behind. The endless expanses of Russia stretch before us now. Regretfully, Duke was not destined to see them. Was his death a fault of mine? Was everything that happened on the bridge? It could be. It's a cruel world that we live in, and it's not our responsibility to fix it. We only wanted to pass through, and it was not my fault they screamed for blood. Their zealousness reminded me of the metro, where people are indoctrinated into a lie. That the world is dead and there's nowhere to go. Anyone who questions it gets fed a different lie, that the war is still going on. Here it's electricity is a sin. Same difference, really.
I think this chapter is pretty good, but genuinely trying to find the hole Anna was in was the most time I've wasted doing anything in a video game, I think ever. Still, this serves as a pretty good chapter, introducing Katya, Nastya, Crest, and kicking off one of the main storylines. You'll see. Anna woke me up, and I saw that Tokarev had set up shop, indicating that the gang was starting to get used to living on the train, and the Colonel wanted to see me first. We then listened to an extremely long tape recording that the Colonel had taken of the radio. So, basically, we need to reach the Ark, and then we will be safe and live happily ever after. Don't look at the runtime. Anyway, I begin the next mission, Yamantau.
Don't you understand?
We are approaching the Yamantau bunker, the final destination of our long journey. Direct radio contact with the bunker has completely dissolved Miller's resentment towards me for destroying our previous lives. He is eagerly anticipating the meeting with the Minister of Defense he was promised. Probably such things are important for a career officer. The people, though, are less interested. They are asking important questions. Where are the occupying forces? Why is there just wilderness and people gone wild around? What's stopping the government from restoring the country? What was being done in the last 20 years? Miller believes that we'll get all the answers. He will be pardoned, as well as Anna and I. And we will all return home to the Metro.
Railcar, what's going on ahead? Over.
Everything's abandoned, but the truck is okay. Over.
Roger that. Don't go too fast, and watch out for radiation. Over.
Roger that.
I still can't believe this. We're there. You get this? We're finally there. This has been our goal, not for weeks or months, but for 20 years. My whole life. And it was not spent in vain. Now I know it for a fact.
Mama, look. Are we going to live here now?
I don't know. Why?
I don't like this place. It's creepy.
Shh. Don't say that.
Over, Colonel. It's getting really hot out here.
Everyone, masks on. Passengers, get inside and button up tight.
Yes, of course. Come on, Nastya.
Change of plans. We're taking the rail car from here. Wait for Artyom and me.
Roger that,
How about me? You've been dreaming to get here for so long, and are now leaving me behind? Am I your daughter or not?
All right, come with us, or else I'll never hear the end of it.
A wise decision.
Yermak, stop the engine. Stefan, you're in charge while I'm away. Oh, yes, sir. Great. Let's go. This place. Worse than Moscow. Yeah, looks like it. Well, we're almost there.
Oh, look, this is a bad place. Now, we shouldn't have come here. Really?
Okay, so where's my welcoming committee and red carpet? I don't get this.
Oh, see? Nobody home. How about we go back, huh?
Look.
You'll notice Sam, Crest, and Idiot being a little bit suspicious about this bunker, which is entirely valid because what the fuck? Miller, Anna, and I disembarked at the train and rode up an elevator to meet the Ark.
Did you at least prepare a speech? Reporting to the minister is no joke.
Ah, get off my case. I pulled an all-nighter.
Don't you feel like you should say something to Artyom now?
Yes, you were right, Artyom. And I was wrong. Thanks for not giving
We then got off to greet the Ark.
Comrade Minister, Commander of the Joint Special Operations Forces, Squadron of the City of Moscow, Colonel Miller, reporting. I would like to request that my people are provided with temporary quarters and supplies, as there are women and children among us. Still, our fighters are in top shape and ready for action.
Women and children? Good. Haven't had those in a while.
Ooh, are you? Where am I? Where are the others?
Everything is going as planned. Everyone is fine. So far.
So far? I demand a meeting with the Minister of Defense, now!
Do not worry. Everything will be just fine. And even better. The Minister and the Chief himself are expecting you for dinner.
Dinner? What the hell? Are you fucking mocking me?
Shut up! The doctor is talking.
Where is the government? Answer!
All here, Colonel. All here. We are the government you people deserve.
Don't you dare, you fuck! You're just fucking cannibals!
Calm down. We'll get jaundice like this. And believe me, nobody likes that bitter taste. The girl will have to wait, though. We must run the tests first. I don't like that cough of hers.
Untie my hands, you motherfucker, and I'll shove those tests so far up your ass, you'll be spitting
Watch
them.
your tone, young lady. Do as that young man does. He woke up long ago, but quietly listens to wise people talk.
You fucker! Let me go!
So, Colonel, now you will pick up the radio and tell the rest of your people on the train to come here. If you don't want her to suffer for a really long time before she is served. Do you understand? And here I was hoping for an intelligent conversation for a change. Alas. That's not a problem, though, since this nice young man will surely do it instead. He won't dare be contradictory once we're done with you. Well, nice meeting you and all. Yakov, you may start.
I'll get you even after I'm dead.
That may well happen, Colonel. I could choke on you or something. In the meantime, I'll excuse myself.
Come here! I'll rip you all apart! Every last one of you should have done that before the war! But I'll get you ready! Burn this town to ashes! So that not even the dirty fools remain!
Now we'll be full again. Good.
Artyom! Here. Colonel, sir, I think that's
Thank
enough.
you, son. But it is not. We have to get them. But first, we must find Anna.
I'm sorry, I went too far with that elevator.
To hell with it! Idiot! Start the main elevator up!
So while I was fighting, I died, which is expected, but I got sent back to when we were just getting off of the train. Anyway, I did the cutscenes and the fighting part again, and then the boys and I got on an elevator. There was a crate here with 19 shotgun shells, And with how limited my ammo was during this fight, I probably would have just quit the game if it weren't for that. Anyway, I got off at my floor and ran through some rooms with such fun activities to do as electrical maintenance, burning to death, and eating corpses. These parts are very boring to commentate. You want to hear it? So I climbed through the shelf, and then I was on the other side of the shelf. Then I looted some ammo and chemicals and couldn't figure out where to go from there. So I climbed back through the shelf, and then I climbed through a vent shaft, and that's enough of that. So after that bit, my audio was all buzzy and staticky until next chapter, so I'm using gameplay from Source Spy 91. I entered a larger room and found a big guy. The strategy here is to throw Molotovs at him and use your guns to do damage on the side. It's honestly a pretty boring mechanic. If you have Molotovs, it's extremely simple, and if you don't, it's an absolute slog to kill him. Eventually, after a few minutes of fighting, I made my way to the sickbay and found Anna.
Artyom, I knew! Behind you!
There is always one like you, a hero. You're not saving anyone, just like the others. So just
freeze!
Yes,
Let him go.
Don't kill me.
Now.
Remember what I told you. There was an explosion.
Enough chatter. Are you alright, Artyom? Thank God. Let's report to the Colonel.
Anna contacted Miller on the radio, and there happened to be a convenient elevator bringing us straight from the sickbay to the control room, where everyone else was.
It appears there was still space for growth.
We could have gotten killed there. We almost got eaten here.
That bastard. Unbelievable. To think he used to be a doctor. Don't matter. We'll see what happens now. We did survive him, after all.
We got off at our floor in the control room as Miller was executing the last of the cannibals on this floor.
Bastard! Thank God, Anna. I wouldn't ever forgive myself.
I'm alright.
Who could have known? Who knew these creatures here kept eating people for 20 years? Could you imagine that? I'm sorry. I got carried away like a greenhorn recruit. The minister was going to see me. Conceit made me complacent. I even saluted those ghouls. Some fucking ark. These monsters had it made here, like the Watchers in Moscow. Those keep people on the ground with their deceit. These...
Alright, but what do we do
I'll
now?
be damned if I know, Anna. No idea. Have you found anything, idiot?
Their defense sites, HQs, all the information is outdated. All links are long gone. Still, the ones that light up worked for at least a few years after the war.
What's down there?
It's Caspian 1, a comm center. There's one more just like that in Novosibirsk.
Are you going to drag us to some other bunker
I
now?
don't know, Anna. We have to make the decision together. Did you get everything you could, idiots? We're leaving.
One moment. I'll finish breaking everything here.
Come on, come on!
Okay, all done.
As the lights cut, Miller, Idiot, Anna, and I ran out to this lift, shooting cannibals the whole way up. Getting back on the train, Sam stayed in front just long enough to scare me, and we accelerated ahead right as the biggest portion of the cannibals arrived to kill us.
Looks like this place is completely over. Time to go find the real government bunker, I guess.
Now we're clear of Yamantau, and I have nothing to say. I am only including this to break up the cutscenes. Good chapter, I guess.
Oh, to think I believed those pricks from Hansa. I believed that Moscow was controlled by the HQ, that we were under occupation, that we were still in war, that there were generals here giving orders. What an idiot, suka!
I will repeat my question. What do we do now?
Could we go back to Moscow? Tell them the truth about the war. The government.
They'll shoot us on approach. And even if we do break through, what can we do against Hansa? Who'd believe us with no proof?
What about going back to Volga? We could live there.
What do we do about the locals? They weren't exactly happy to see us there. Do we kill them all? Is anybody here up for that?
Back in Moscow, Artyom had been dreaming of finding a habitable place and building a colony there. Isn't it time we got to it?
The idea is good. But how do we find the place? Just keep traveling? The Aurora needs an overhaul. What do we do if it breaks down?
Satellites!
What satellites? You want to leave the fucking planet?
There's a satellite communication center on the Caspian Sea. It survived the war.
Oh. And if we gain access to the data collected by the satellites...
We won't have to travel randomly. Radiation level maps, even your regular satellite photos could really help us out here.
That's an idea.
What if there is something worse than cannibals there?
Could well be. But first, we're going to be really careful this time. And second, does anyone have any better ideas?
I don't.
Well, I guess we've got ourselves a new plan.
Artyom, shall we look for that place you wanted? Sound the horn, then.
There was a journal entry between the last cutscene and the start of the Caspian, but it was all crackly and not that important, and I'm not about to grab another video to use for one clip, so here's the text. Just pause if you want to read it. We then arrived in the Caspian, a former sea turned desolate desert.
I'm not in love with this place. Nothing but sand and heat. I feel like shit here. Artyom, a car!
We stopped the train, looking to the colonel to see exactly what to do.
They stopped in that village there. Looks like somebody lives there.
I see. How are the men doing, Demir?
Stepan is the worst off. The others are not so well either. Only us here are still in fighting shape.
Thank you. Anna, you and Demir reconnoiter the area. We need to find that damn bunker and hit the road as soon as we do.
We might have a slight problem with hitting the road, Colonel. There's barely enough water in the boiler to make some tea. And we're all out of coal.
I see. We'll need to address that too. Anna, Demir, one more task. Look for water and fuel. Will do. Get the men ready. We need to set up defenses.
Roger that.
See you soon. Just try to be careful, all right?
Artyom, we have to learn who those men with the car are. They do look like regular bandits, but we can't take risks here. The car was headed for the village. Looks like they have a comms relay there, and it should hold some info, which is just what we need now. Move out as soon as you're ready.
We were in need of food, water, and fuel, and Sam, Cress, Demir, and Anna were the only people still capable of fighting, and we would be checking out the car, the locals, and the maps we came here for anyway. I checked out the local buildings, only finding some ghouls, but eventually I got jumped by an enemy on this rooftop.
You made a mistake coming here.
Knocking him out gave me a key to the van, which I could see was very close. I sniped down at the ghouls occupying the van and ziplined to get in the driver's seat. While preparing to enter the van, I was ambushed by more ghouls, but Demir showed up to help. I took the van out to look for fuel and clues as to where the communication center is, and Demir stayed back. I drove through the desert on the way to the lighthouse and got a transmission from Miller.
We've been contacted by a local lady, Cure. She's being besieged by bandits at the lighthouse. Should we help her, she'll help us find the communication center. We can't let the opportunity go. I say, we help, but stay alert. Get to it. Miller, over and out.
Now, Demir should be showing up at the lighthouse soon to come with us to get the maps. But also, I noticed that if I open my map in the car, my camera goes up like 2 feet. I eventually found a mountain, on top of which was a lighthouse where Ghoul should be. These caves also happen to be filled with traps and bastards, which repeatedly killed me for like 30 minutes. I then got onto the surface to another horde of bandits, and died a few more times before ending my 3rd session. Some of these portions of the game I tend to skip over or glaze over, mainly because they're annoying. That's for a few reasons. Notably that the weapons sometimes just feel clunky to use, and there isn't really a health bar. Maybe they could have implemented it so you have a more traditional heads-up display on your gas mask, displaying ammo and health, etc., but it takes your gas mask filters and can damage the mask, whereas going without it, you go by the blood on your screen, and maybe you have to look in your bag or something to see your ammo. But that's just a suggestion. A game suggestion. Kicking off my next session, the game crashed after 6.5 minutes, and genuinely, I don't know if this game is just immensely unfair or I'm just bad, but I had a lot of moments throughout this playthrough, like now, where I was stuck at the same point for upwards of 15 minutes. Comparing to something like Red Dead 2, which I have absolutely no investment in and I'm doing nothing with, it feels way easier to get distracted from the story just trying to do the gameplay aspects. But when playing Red Dead 2, a game that took me about 60 hours on my first playthrough, I was rarely stuck at one spot for more than 5 minutes, whereas this game, which took me 18 hours on my first playthrough, had like 15 of those death loops. Anyway, I defeated the men on the mountain, and Ghoul instructed me to get this lift to meet her at the top of the lighthouse.
Are you Artyom? Come in. Whoever kills the Munai Bailair is my friend. The Munai Bailair, as we call them, turned my people into slaves. Wanted to put me in shackles too. Better death. Read you loud and clear. Your man helped me. I mean, you're dead. But why are you here? For 5 years, nobody would come here save for Munai Bailair.
What do you know of the antennas near your lighthouse?
There used to be a comm center before the war. My mother worked there. She was an officer. The facility is long abandoned. I went there after war to look for Mom's traces, but found nothing.
Abandoned? Q, we helped you. So could you help us in return by leaving our man inside?
Good. I will help.
We formed a plan to get into the bunker and get the maps and headed off. On the way, Gil told me this.
Before war, this place was beautiful. See, I was 5 then. My mom was young, alive. Now it's just desert. All the beasts changed into freaks. And people became beasts. My people became chattel. Not by themselves. The oil dogs made them. The oil stayed even though the sea dried out. Go down there, then take the left turn. There's a narrow passage there. I'll stay here. Someone must keep the power going. If you see Mom's picture, bring it. I'll be thankful to you as long as I live.
After entering the bunker, I took a lift under the watchful eye of Ghoul and found some spider-like things at the bottom. These guys are basically nothing as long as you make sure you keep your flashlight charged. But then I found Yule's mother, long dead, and still holding on to the photo of her family. Yeah, that's really fucking sad. But hey, at least we got maps. On the way back, Demir had to kill the lights to get the lift going. This is nice. It varies up gameplay when you're just backtracking, but it makes you really hard if you're stupid like me and assumed it was a good idea to remove your main weapon against the biggest threat in this part of the game. I then boarded an elevator, bringing me to Demir and Gyul. We then cleared the remaining portion of the bunker and took another lift out.
Other things too. Keprakme. Thank you, Artyom. This is for you. Father gave it to me when I was little. Damir says there's a little girl on your train. Give it to her. May it bring her.
With the van already moved over, I took it out where I could find Anna. Anna showed me around her sniping lair and briefed me on my next mission. I could either raid an air control tower filled with equipment, a crane with someone living in it, or a ship filled with prisoners. I picked the air control tower based solely on its proximity and ease of access to me. Although it turns out I actually don't know what an air control tower looks like, so I just raided the crane and killed the guy living in it alongside his couple of bros that, you know, live with him and sleep in the same bed as him in a totally heterosexual way. I searched his home and found basically nothing, but I did have the opportunity to craft more medkits and ammo stuff. Then another group of gunmen arrived at the bottom of the crane, and these motherfuckers were like trained long-range fucking assassins. They were hitting most of their shots from the ground to the top of the crane where I was. Anyway, I went down and killed the guys before heading off to do the next objective. However, in the middle of traveling, I ended my 4th session. I realized this one was a bit short, but I don't care. I went to the air control tower at the start of my 5th session because I actually identified it this time, and it had a new shotgun which was just okay, and it had precisely nothing else. I then headed back to the train, and I got there alongside a sandstorm, and I then went into our hideout and showed Miller the maps.
Alright, Miller, over and out. You got them? Great job, Artyom. Great news! Artyom got the maps.
Well done, Artyom.
That is such a relief.
Idiot, get started with these. I'll join you later.
Here.
There's a lot of data. The sooner we analyze it, the better. We have the maps. Now we have to find a way out of this place. And that's the hard part. We need water for the Aurora and the crew. People are going down with dehydration already. It's only getting worse. We also need fuel. The local bandits have it all. I had already contacted their so-called Baron, but his terms proved to be unacceptable. He'll told us where they get the water, but naturally, the well is guarded. Damir reconned the place and says we could infiltrate it stealthily. So, Artyom, when you're ready, go rendezvous with Damir. Your goal is to bring water to the Aurora. Failure is not an option. Good luck, Artyom. We are all counting on you. Crest, how's the weather?
I headed out to get water and oil with Demir, driving with my camera position totally fucked, and meeting him at a pit. We walked into the entrance of the cave, and bats immediately rushed out. So we figured another path would be optimal, and we found one pretty much immediately. Demir boosted me and I helped him up, and after entering the cave, we figured out it was extremely hot. Well, Demir's extremely hot anyway, but that's besides the point. Also, there's ghouls now. The game is to run ahead of the ghouls, and I couldn't even figure that out. We got onto the surface, and Demir showed up with a tanker filled with water, or oil, or something, and I'm glossing over this because the audio is once again fucked. We then got back to the train where we were getting raided, presumably by Munai Bailair. I died a lot here, and also the audio became normal again. If anyone can tell me what this is, that'd be nice. It wasn't happening while I was playing, and it happened once in the Subnautica video too. For an example, it sounds like this. I drove off to get oil for the train after killing all of the raiders. Yule had informed me of some nearby in the possession of the Baron, who was a very unimportant character. Yule and Demir were joining me once again, so I headed through the sewers into the Baron's tower. So before, in Yamantau, we had cannibalism, electrical work, and immolation, and now we have dogfighting, cult worship, and slavery. How fun. I ran past them and got up to the tower, where the Baron called me up to his office. I ran past more slaves and soldiers before entering the Baron's office. I can't show you all of this cutscene because there's a whole bunch of breast on display in it, but I'll show you what I can.
Did you expect a different reception? Alter your weapon. Here we can talk without the masks. I trust everyone present implicitly. You find it weird they're not really bothered by your little mischief. Well, you see, this world is a harsh and chaotic one. I'm just doing my best to introduce a little order into it, without which there is no hope for something better in the future. And with no hope, you can't live. But let us cut to the chase. You definitely did not come here to enjoy the scenery. Ergo, you have a goal. And that goal is probably far from here. I respect people with a purpose in life. So, I'm ready to provide you with fuel for your journey. I'm not asking for much in return. Surrender Gül to me. Bring her to me, and we all win. I have Gül, you will have your fuel. Everyone gets to live long and prosper. Now,
Help has come for you. You'll answer for everything.
I then deathlooped for an entire 35 minutes and entered my last session before Demir arrived and Gül made a big explosion.
Whoa! Oh, impressive. So, this is the plant Gül was talking about.
What the hell is going on there? Get out of there! I'll send people to cover your retreat!
so, you wanted to create a new world with this? Not happening! You're misguided attempt!
I got her! Take the Baron!
It's the strongest who survives!
Your head's in the way.
Gate open! Hooking the tank up!
You gave my people hope. I'll never forget it. But this war has only started for me, and I must see it to the end. The winning end.
Artyom, your dream led us here, but it won't help my people. This war is mine now, too. Go, Artyom. Follow your dream.
This is technically the bad ending of this chapter, but I see it as more of a positive, with it meaning Demir can help fight in the war for his people, although it has a bit of a bad meaning later on. Just wait for it.
Fanatics on the banks of Volga, cannibals in the mountain bunker, slavers on the shores of the dried-out sea. How many monsters has the war given rise to? Or perhaps, were they always there? And the war simply gave them a chance to show themselves, and now we're stuck with them forever. Will Damir, who stayed in the desert to help Gül lead their people to freedom, beat another monster. The inertia of thought that had been keeping the subjugated locals in willing and ready servitude to tyrants? Frankly, I have doubts. That monster might prove stronger than all the others. Regardless, we can't afford to lose hope. We're getting ever closer to our dream. Finding a place where we could live, free from radiation and mutants. The maps we recovered in the desert have provided us with several promising options. And now the crew members are excitedly waiting for the Colonel's decision on where the Aurora should go next. Currently, though, the train is calmly rolling eastward. The crew rests, and Stepan proposed to Katya. It was a proposal she couldn't refuse.
I then snapped back to reality, and Anna and I were schlucking and glucking together before being interrupted by Stepan, who is apparently getting married to Katya. She's the adult woman, not the little girl, by the way. I was confused too.
Get another chance.
A moment of your attention, please. Half a year on the road, and 4,000 clicks behind us. We have been through a lot. Duke, Damir. All right, people. I do understand I can't keep it a secret much longer. After a careful study of the satellite maps we've obtained and much deliberation, we've found a place we could call our new home. It is a river valley. There's forest and a hydroelectric power plant.
Yeah.
This place is quite far from densely populated areas, which, as our journey has proven, is important. We're about 2 days away from it now. So, congratulations, everyone. Yet, this is not our last order of business for today. Stepan, Katya.
Oh, Prince!
Stepan, Katya, repeat after me. I take you to be my spouse.
I take you to be my spouse.
And vow to hold you from this day forward.
And vow to
For
hold
better
you
or
from this day forward,
worse.
for better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer,
In sickness and in
in
health.
sickness and in health.
To love and to
To
cherish
love and to
until
cherish
death
until
do us
death
part.
do us part.
As the captain of this ship, I hereby pronounce you husband and wife. Live long and be happy. Oh, and Gorka!
Gorka! Gorka!
Oh!
Anna, what's happening?
Be careful, people!
Anna, please hold on.
What's happening? What is it?
What's that cough?
Gotcha. Do something, please.
Don't calm her! Give her air!
Damn.
I'm sorry I didn't say anything.
What are you talking about, baby?
In the Yamantau, when they dragged me away, that ghoul doctor said my lungs were falling apart. The gas I breathed in that ammo dump said I
How
don't
can
have
you
long.
believe that monster? We've just been through a desert and all that sand, so that might be the reason. Katya, Artem, a few words.
I'm all right, Artyom. Go. I'm fine now.
I headed up to have a word with Katya and Miller about what to do next.
So, son, care to tell me what
Kartna,
do we do now?
please. Let us not panic and think constructively.
So, Katya, what do you think?
I think that trusting some degenerate's diagnosis wouldn't be wise. A move from humid metro into the desert with its dry heat and sandstorms is a stress for lungs.
Yes, I do think she'd be hit really bad right off the start had it
My
been
thoughts
gas.
exactly. Thus, first I'll check her condition to the best of my knowledge. Also, we're approaching the valley with its forest air. That alone could heal her.
I'm sorry to intervene, but did something happen?
Anna coughed up some blood.
My God. Do you really think it's the sand? Sounds more like TB to me. That's for sure.
TB we can handle. We've got enough antibiotics, and air does help with that.
But what if that degenerate was right, Katya? What do we do? Is there a medicine?
There was an air defense battery station in our village. Right on the brink of war, they received a new drug. It saved a lot of people after gas exposure and general poisoning. I'll check my mom's records and find its name. I think it was produced in Novosibirsk.
Right, Novosibirsk. Yermak, your opinion. For Anna's sake, I'd go to the edges of the earth. As for Novosibirsk, it's about 2,000 clicks. Then it's decided. We head for the valley. If it is suitable, we settle there. If Anna's state worsens, I'll take a group of volunteers to find that drug. So Katya, please, find that name for us.
I'll find it, don't worry.
One more thing, Artyom. I want no surprises in that valley. You are our most seasoned scout. So take the rail car, one volunteer, and go check everything out before we arrive. Let's go back for now. Tell Anna and the people to call
We headed back to Anna, and despite the medical condition, we're optimistic. Stepan sang us a song that may be copyrighted, but if I was sure it wasn't, then I would play it here as like a 2/3 intermission. And I entered the next chapter, the taiga.
I can't say I've ever been religious, but right now I'm begging all gods, please, watch over Anna, and make the valley cure her of her affliction. In the meantime, Alyosha and I are on a recon mission. We have no idea of what is waiting for us there, though Alyosha seems convinced that there are going to be crowds of women eagerly anticipating his arrival. If that turns out to be the case, then I have the best companion possible for this mission.
Alyosha and I were riding in the taiga to scout the area for a place to settle down.
Gotta move on! We've got to check the shore right down to the lower.
Nothing here, coming.
Our guys caught your friend, but I can see your two are not bandits. I'll help you out if you don't do anything stupid. Gotta run now. Just stay out of sight and you'll be fine. Catch you later.
I ran for the nearest signs of civilization, finding a crossbow and a house in which marauders and rapists had been strung up, tortured, and murdered. And that's awesome. Later on, I found actual fucking pirates. I was basically just raiding their base to find Alyosha, who could plausibly be dead or alive based on what the woman who rescued me said. After demolishing a civilization, I hit a brick wall. This brick wall was not a death loop or a glitch, but simply that I got lost. I needed to cross this river and had no idea how, so I tried jumping it, thinking if I land in the water I might wash up on the other side, and then I died to fall damage. By the way, while I was searching for an exit, I found a crossbow with 2 bolts per magazine and a scope, so I'll be using that from here on out. I then realized there was a zip line, and I'm really dumb. Also, large creature ahead. I hope this isn't foreshadowing the main boss of this mission. Past the bear, there were these wolf things, and they fucking suck. The severely limited health kits in this mission made them an insta-kill because I was at low health, and even if it looks like they're going to pass by you, sometimes they just suddenly stop and divert towards you. They don't have too much health, but sometimes they'll, like, bite your arm, and apparently it instantly kills you. I ran off to the right of the road and was running across and found a fishing hut with a dock. The guy at the dock was very eager for me to kill him, but I decided to be a good person for once in my life. These people are called pioneers, and they are in conflict with the pirates. Honestly, we don't know too much about them, so I'm just gonna run ahead.
He was not alone. Ah, all right. Let's cut the rope and take him to the camp with the first one.
Hey, wait a minute. You pioneers already have one, and this is our catch.
He got caught on our turf.
The net is mine, so bite me.
Oh, yeah? Well, why did you set the trap on our turf then?
Ruder too, so
While the pirates and the pioneers were debating whose property I am, the bear showed up
The
again.
forest court comes first. The court will decide if we
I killed a pioneer because I realized that there are 2 people in this forest who don't want me dead, one being Alyosha, and the other one definitely not being this guy, and he just so happened to have my backpack. Though, for some reason, my dumbass didn't realize that this meant I had health kits back for an embarrassingly long time. I then raided a town full of pioneers, and easily the most egregious thing they've done here is throw away good meat. While fighting, I heard the woman who rescued me yelling. She was telling the pioneers to stop fighting and that I don't kill unless attacked, which somehow worked. Skipping a little to the next peaceful town I murdered and raided, I entered through a trapdoor and took out one guard with a crossbow bolt, and then stealth killed the other, real slick. I then died a lot and quickly ditched stealth, then freed a captive pioneer from the... Oh, look, I don't fucking know who I was fighting, man. They could be Hansa for all I care. After taking out the bad men, I ran ahead and found a creepy graveyard/church. Walking into the yard, I found a gate and cut this rope to open it. The mechanic with the bear is to throw Molotovs at it, as hinted by the Molotovs lying on the ground outside, and the bandits throwing Molotovs when they captured me. These are the best for doing damage, but it is also fucking terrifying to be charged at by a 1,500-pound grizzly bear currently burning alive. Anyway, I died a bunch and then got it to flee. That's right, you can't actually kill it. I also got some weapon upgrades and restocked on ammo and medkits after getting up. After modifying my weapons, I met Olga, the woman who rescued me.
Freeze, Drifter! So, we meet again? Though I bet you don't remember who dragged you out of the water. My name is Olga, by the way. Was it you fighting the Master of the Forest? Awesome. Our hunters had been staying away from him for years. Damn it. Sorry, teacher. The locks all rusted up. Your friend Alyosha is already at the dam. He said your Kartna won't wait, so you don't have much time. Sorry, I can't take you there. At today's council session, the pirates moved to attack your train, but they had no right to even call one without me present. As usual, I need to go and sort this out. But I have a few minutes to give you some directions. You need a boat to get to the dam. And our pirates keep all the boats at their swamp camp. They are not the sharing kind, but that's no reason to attack. Nobody wants bloodshed, so just stay out of their sight.
I ran down through the swamp to the dock. I was trying to be stealthy, but upon KOing this guy at the top, another came by and spotted me, totally blowing my cover. I did eventually get them off my tail, enough that I could at least be a bit more calculated, though. You might notice I'm going into more detail on this part than most of the others, and that's because on all of the others, I died enough that it would command hours of the video to describe every attempt, whereas here I didn't die once. I went and found the boat in the radioactive swamp before finding an abandoned factory of some sort. In the factory, I needed to activate a generator to power an elevator to advance and was fighting for my life on the way to this generator. After activating it, I took the elevator and busted into the room of the Admiral.
So you can't knock on the door anymore, eh? As the teacher said, courtesy distinguishes us from bandits and other animals. Wait a moment. You're not one of ours. A bandit, then. Don't look like one. Though you never know with them bandits. Different shit every day. Am I right or what, Senya?
Brother, that is a corpse. I peacefully departed the Admiral and headed to Alyosha. I headed through a sewage pipe full of spiders, getting thoroughly irradiated on the way in, before eventually finding a door which required generator power to open. Of course, the generator was out of fuel, but I remembered seeing a fuel can by the door. I fetched that, activated the generator, and ran through. A brief hallway later, I met back up with Alyosha.
Come get some! Artyom? Damn, you're alive! I'm so glad to see you. And I just managed to get in contact with the Aurora. They are worried. And I get that. This place isn't as simple as it first seemed. Hear the counter react? There's a hell of a lot of radioactive sediment behind that concrete. And soon, it'll bring an end to this valley. We can't stay here. Nobody can, really. Well, see that zipline? Those kids built it back when there wasn't as much seepage. That's where we need to go. The old man said the Aurora will soon be on the dam. We gotta hurry. I think something's wrong at the Aurora.
While walking, Alyosha started talking about how he had met Olga and fallen in love with her in the past 2.5 hours we've been here. And then Bear!
Artyom, get out there! Shit!
I climbed up onto the ledge and was looking around for the bear, who was strangely hard to find, but with some Molotovs and my 8-round cylinder revolver rifle, I did pretty well fighting him.
What an enormous beast! Well, Artyom, help me here. Let's restore this line's tension.
Alyosha and I got ready to zipline back.
Olga!
I told you people, they just needed passage.
Are you sure you're not coming?
I'm sorry, Alyosha. I can't just up and live like this. No matter how much I like you.
In this case, I bid you farewell, my fair lady. Ah, to hell with it. Olga, I'll be back.
I'll be waiting.
Artyom, let's go! Olga! Remember what I told you!
There's an alternative ending here in which Alyosha gets hit by a crossbow bolt, but that's all I know. Based on summaries, it sounds like Alyosha would have had to stay here if he gets injured. We zipped back to the train and hopped on.
You guys really had us worried there.
Anna is in bad shape. We must move. Time is short. Neither the air nor the drugs we found along the way are of any help now. The illness has progressed too far. Come.
We all remained silent while the Aurora was running along the poison sea held at bay by the dam. We believed we'd be back. Now, having seen the sword of Damocles hanging over the valley, we knew it was not meant to be. Alyosha is especially worried. His Olga is there. Perhaps he will be able to warn her via radio and save the people there. What happens next? I have no idea. I am ready for anything. Anything but one thing. Anna, please, hold on. Without you, I have nothing to live for, nothing to dream about. Doubly so, since if not for that dream of mine, you'd be all right now.
I then cut back in with Anna.
Artyom, you know, when I found this photo of the Pacific Ocean, I just knew for some reason that we were going to go there in the end. All these rivers, mountains, deserts, they just won't do. It's ocean or bust. I believed we could make it. I did. I know I'll get there. And if I need some help, you'll be there for me. You'll save me again, won't you?
Then I had some coughing and Katya came in to care for her. Crest called me to go to the bridge and have a talk with Colonel and some of the men.
Till today, we thought that this shot of Novosibirsk was a simple error.
What's
We
up
were
with
wrong.
it?
The legend says irradiated zones are highlighted in shades of green, while purple highlights indicate errors. Today, though, I found some small print. The thing is, radiation levels way outside of normal operational range of the scanner are also marked as errors. Simply put, the radiation there may well be completely off the scale. We're about 500 clicks from Novosibirsk, and the radiation outside is almost as high as back in Moscow.
Cadmium warhead?
The shots are 20 years old. The radiation can't be quite as high now, but still, Novosibirsk is most probably.
So what do we do now?
I'll tell you what we do. Artyom and I will go.
This is not
All
the
right?
other way. We go together.
No,
sir.
No.
Please.
First, she is my daughter, his wife. My paranoia about the occupation forces drove her into that damn bunker. And Artyom with his dream. He dragged us out of Moscow. So we too are to blame.
Still, we are the Order. We are one crew, and we should all act accordingly. We should all go.
Discussion is closed. This is not an order mission. It is a personal errand, mine and Artyom's. And we don't need any help. Second, we don't know the exact location of the medicine. It might be in the city center, or in one of the Akademgorodok labs. So Anna's life might well end up in your hands, too. Third and last, wherever we might go, winter is coming. And getting the Aurora stuck in snow is what?
That's something we can't allow.
Do you remember what Yermak said? Remind
There's a
them,
huge
please.
railway technology museum at the city outskirts. We'll almost certainly find a snowplow for the Aurora there.
So, gentlemen, your missions are to search the Akademgorodok labs and prepare Aurora for the winter. Crew, get ready for the mission. Also, We are starting constant radiation level monitoring outside. Effective immediately. Sam, you're first.
Yes, sir.
I think that lethal radiation levels there are actually good news for us.
You mean there was nobody left to rob the drugstores and hospitals?
Exactly. Unlike the towns we've been, we aren't
I then headed off to
attending a
start the
dance
Dead
party
City,
there.
the last chapter.
How much time will it give us?
Anna isn't giving up. She believes in me, believes in us, and for a good reason. Thousands of kilometers of track behind us, we are finally approaching Novosibirsk, a dead city concealing her hope for life, the medicine that could save her, somewhere in its cold, irradiated heart. A year ago, we left the poisoned ruins of Moscow, and now we are about to enter another city stiff in the murderous embrace of winter and radiation. Will we ever find somewhere to live on the surface? Maybe. But for now, we're returning back into the bowels of Metro. Back to save Anna.
I returned to the front of the Aurora with Sam, Miller, and eventually headed back through to the Aurora where Anna still had, hopefully, enough time left that we could get her the medicine. I restocked my ammo and weapons and rode off with Miller in the van from the Caspian.
You keep overwatch. I'll be busy watching the road. It's not squeaky clean, I'm sure.
We drove through a tunnel that, as the Colonel said, we should have just walked through, but we needed to minimize exposure. Miller said I should take the wheel, and then the void started invading my game. What is this, some kind of metaphor? We couldn't stay in the van for too long, though, as the path ahead was only people accessible. We then found our way into the metro, where we got aboard a train car and headed deeper in. The line was blocked, so I slid through this gap. After that, the fucking horde was awoken, so I fought for a while before we advanced through the metro. I then played this tape recorder.
Mikhail, Fedorov from the Section 20 here. Look, our filters are complete trash, and on Sibirskaya, they will replace this autumn. Could you let my kids stay at your station? People from their school are there too. I can't, Nikitich. The military are in charge here now. They don't let anyone in. But don't worry, they're going to start handing the radio protector out. Am I supposed to give that green shit to my kids? Don't give me that. The green stuff is better than any filters you could get. As I said, don't worry. You'll just have to take it for a couple of months until the situation gets better. Anyhow, let's talk about this later. Okay, let's do that.
Miller and I then took a nice bath in radioactive sludge and found an execution pit full of relatively fresh bodies, at least fresh enough to have been killed well after the war. Continuing on, this area was filled with literal piles of human corpses. A pretty similar scene to the battle for D6, a major event not featured in this game, but referred to throughout it. Then the corpses started rising, though it turns out it was just mutants, which are lame, rather than necromancy, which is awesome. Then we had to get past this grate.
Wait! Come on! I'll give you a boost! Follow him! Good luck!
Miller and I chased the kid around for a bit before I found him in the garbage.
Whoa! Grab him, Artyom! Stop! Where do you think you're going? Finally! Why did you run? Come on, speak up, soldier. Identify yourself.
Private Kirill Klebnikov, Oscar, Rapid Response Unit. And you won't get another word from me, so you can kill me now.
We mean no harm to anyone. Just take us to your commanding officer.
What do you mean you mean no harm? I'm from Moscow. Aren't you with them?
Them? Yeah, I don't know who you mean by that. But if they kill children, we're definitely against them. So, you can take us to your commander.
Why do you want to see him?
We're on an important mission, details of which may only be disclosed to ranking officers. You just have to take us to them. Besides, you don't really have much choice.
All right.
No monkey business, mind you.
Klebnikov took us through the metro until we had another battle of mutants. We had another scare of him running off, but it was just to open a gate for us. Klebnikov then took us to his office, where we had a conversation about plans.
Dad's on a mission, and there's nobody else. Not since the war, anyways.
Oh, so the city was tough enough to live through the nuclear war, but not the civil one. How long has it been just the two of you?
Almost a year. We are lucky. Had a whole box of green stuff, like the rich guys.
Wait, Artyom, a satellite map. This is the valley where Alyosha and you got lost. Where did you get this from, Private?
Stokers brought it from the Satcom Center a long time ago.
So your father's on a mission? When is he coming back?
I don't know.
When did he leave?
A month back, and he's been off the air for the last 3 weeks.
I see. Do you know where he went? What was the mission?
He went to that Satcom Center. We were going to leave the city in the spring. He went to go get the impact map. Said, we're sure to find a clear place if we get one.
Got it. Private, we need to use your radio. Artyom, let's contact the Aurora. I'm going to get that map. We should tell them. Do you read me, Aurora? Miller here.
Colonel, read you loud and clear. How did you get on the air?
A change of plans. We found the survivors. They say the Satcom Center is still there. I'm going there for the map. Artyom takes the Institute.
Copy that, Colonel.
How is Anna doing?
She's asleep. Try to make haste there. Katya says Anna's going to have another attack soon, and she's way too weak.
Come again, Aurora. Over. Do you copy, Aurora? Over. Damn. Static again. Artyom, if his father has really found a clean place, this is a chance for Anna, for the boys, for all of us. A chance to have a real life. I'll go get that map. Meet me here once you recover the medicine. Then we'll go get the
You
car.
can't go outside with that anti-rad. We still have 3 left. Dad was saving them for our escape from the city.
Great. Thank you. Artyom, get geared up in the meantime. Look, there's even a workbench here.
You might notice here that at the start he only let Katya and Nastya on the train because it was convenient, but here he's going out of his way and risking his life for Kirill's father, who might be dead anyway. I then left to get the medicine. The next bit here is basically just running through the metro, occasionally interrupted by mutants, and then I found a boat. And then I entered one of the worst death loops in this entire game. It had these big eelfish things, which aren't too hard to avoid, but there's like 4 of them for some reason. Another reason why this segment of the game is so torturous is the shitty collision. Some parts of the map just didn't have collision, some were behind invisible walls, some just were all fucked. When I got to where I thought was the end of this terrible section of the map, there were these little purple shits that would insta-kill me due to my lack of health kits. After clearing that single train car, I entered basically a shittier version of the last segment, now with even worse collision. Worst of all, after clearing that, there were more purple guys. I then reached easily the worst part, which was another 20 minutes of death looping in this same tiny fucking area. Alright, now I've passed the terrible part, and I can paddle down this tunnel to where I need to get to next.
Artyom, come on, wake up.
I continued having some minor lapses in reality, but now I don't have any life-saving medicine. I then heard from Miller and Klepnikov.
Loud and clear, Coronel. Over. Copy that, Coronel. Have the map on and moving up to the institute. Gas will be up. Over.
Copy 5. Keep that up. Miller, over.
I walked right outside hoping to get to the Institute. On the way, getting heavily irate.
Come in 51, 53 here. We can't go through here either. It's all job. What do we do now? See that metro entrance? Blast it! Use that support. We don't want shrapnel here. You got it. Great. Got her. Metro entrance, 11 o'clock. Sabbath. Target acquired. Sabbath ready. Fire! Fuck! End of the road, people!
I then saw a giant fucking gorilla in the distance and entered the Institute, long abandoned. I then heard a terrifying ghost mind control voice thing whispering to me. Turns out that's the gorilla. You'll notice here when the gorilla picks me up that it has no eyes. I did not notice this. I just thought you should know. I had more gorilla fighting and illusions, and eventually entered this hallway, which is a cool sequence if nothing else. After this, I entered a death loop that I think is fair to say is my fault for not being observant enough to realize you're supposed to use stealth to get past the blind gorillas, rather than my preferred method of brute force. Though I will say it took me about 20 minutes to figure this out, and by figure this out, I mean give up on brute force and look it up.
You didn't find it, my love. It's alright. I know you tried. I'm waiting for you. I want you to be there. You are here. So nice. I'm sorry. I woke back up, irradiated to hell and back, and the van pulled back up.
Just a minute. You'll get better now. You found it, you did. Don't you dare die on me now. Don't even think about it. What would I tell her then, huh? No sleeping, soldier. No sleeping now. I did find you after all. Don't know how. Stay with me, Artyom.
Wake up, please. Oh, you're alive! Alive! I thought I was all alone again. Get up, quick! He's asleep. Better leave them be when they get like this. It's just a straight drive from now on. He tried to teach me to drive, but he just went out like this. Can you drive? Hooray! We're moving again!
I drove back to the Aurora.
He found the map! Said that was a true hero, and that he saved us all. On the way back, we got jumped by mutants! But then he shot them all! Bam! Right between the eyes! Then we got to the river, through these worms, and deep water, so he carried me on the shoulders. It's the moon! So beautiful. So many new things!
I drove some more before this happened.
Careful, everyone. He got irradiated badly. And I couldn't even get a reading on the Colonel's body. The counter goes off the scale.
Hold on, Artyom. We'll fix you just fine.
How could this happen?
Focus, Katya! What do we do? Tell us!
An emergency transfusion. We must give him as much blood as we can.
Transfusion it is then. Will it save him?
It will keep him alive for a little longer. As long as there is blood.
What's his blood type?
AB positive. We could give him any type. Get everyone here.
Don't go to sleep, Artyom. No, you can't go to sleep now.
Hello there, Artyom. How about we take a walk? Staying underground grew old.
That's it, Stepan. You can't give more.
Look! He's up! Can you hear me, Artyom? Don't you dare die on us. Just don't you dare! You've got a whole life ahead of you. And kids! So fight for it. Fight!
Why did you stop? Didn't you always want to go outside? Didn't you open that airlock at the Botanical Gardens? This place is much better.
This isn't your destination, Artyom. You're not there yet, not even close. It's not your station, it's just a dead end. Not your goal. Can you hear me? Give me your hand. Oh, you're burning up. Well, I hope this old man's blood will do something about that hot head of yours, eh?
Come on, let's go.
Okay, my friend. Time to get some quality blood in that body of yours, huh? With this, you'll be up in no time. Or I'll eat my own shoes, huh?
You know, I finally feel like I belong somewhere. I am no longer an outsider. You keep us together, Artyom. You must survive for all of our sakes.
Let's go to the summit.
Hear me, Artyom. You've got a wife you need to work on making kids with. And my fiancé is still in Moscow. We still have to stir some shit up back in the metro, so don't you fucking dare die here.
Look, Artyom. Lake Baikal. Makes you believe real life is possible. Not the petty rat race we had back in the metro. I just have to say, you were right, Artyom. Right for wanting to get us out, bring us here. And I, the old fool, I was simply afraid. Afraid of life, as I see now.
Look, he's smiling. Smiling in his sleep. He even seems to say something.
It's his fever talking. He's burning up.
This world is worth giving everything up for, Artyom. You were always ready, and I was too attached to my position in the rat race. I'm sorry. Sorry for what happened to Anna. Sorry for blaming you. Had I not pumped everyone up about the occupying forces, she'd never have fallen there.
Artyom, I beg you, don't die. Stay with me, please. I don't want a life if you're not a part of it. Can you hear me? Look at me, Artyom. Look at me, please.
Yes, about Anna. You will have to look out for her, now that I can't anymore. I don't care if you go to that ocean. Just stay with her.
keeping her out. She can barely stand herself, but she's ready to give all her blood to him. At least the medicine helped. It's a miracle.
I have a daughter, but I also wanted a son. A really stubborn one, just like me. Like you. I really like this place. It's so clean. I'd like to stay here forever. Could you arrange that for me? And the most important thing, my time's up, Artyom. It's your turn now. Step up, lead them. Just remember that I created the Order to save people. All people, Artyom. Don't forget that. Because I somehow did. Goodbye, Commander. Time to wake up. Come on. Rise and shine, son.
The fever is subsiding. I think he's getting better. Now he needs some rest. You too, Anna. We've got hope now.
I suppose I should tell you, in case you couldn't already figure it out, this is not the ending I got. The ending I got, without Duke and Demir, Artyom dies, not having enough blood to make it.
Careful. I don't get how he's even alive. Artyom, can you hear me?
Careful, everyone. He got irradiated badly. And I couldn't even get a reading on the Colonel's body. The counter goes off the scale.
Hold on, Artyom. We'll fix you just fine.
How could this happen?
Focus, Katya! What do we do? Tell us!
An emergency transfusion. We must give him as much blood as we can.
Transfusion it is then. Will it save him?
It will keep him alive for a little longer. As long as there's blood.
What's his blood type?
AB positive. We could give him any type. Get everyone here.
Don't go to sleep, Artyom. No, you can't go to sleep now.
This isn't your destination, Artyom. You're not there yet, not even close. It's not your station, it's just a dead end. Not your goal. Can you hear me?
There's just not enough of us left. Not enough. Artyom, please. Please, don't leave me. I don't need any medicine. At this price. Yes, I will live now. But what good is life without you?
Stop it. Don't say such things, Anna.
You saved her, Artyom. You did save her. It was not for nothing. She will live. Don't you get this?
That's true. Oh.
That's it. He can't give anymore. Can't you see? We're all out of blood. Anna, you really should rest.
My dad is gone. Don't leave me too, Artyom.
Do you recognize me? It's me, Eugene, from the exhibition. And to think I've been waiting here. Some best friend you are.
See how it went? You didn't stay there for too long. But that's just the way the world works, right? You struggle, and fight, and still get fucked. Ah, well. I say you should take a walk around. I'll stay right here if you need me. We have a lot of time, my friend. More than enough to talk about everything.
Hello, Artyom. I didn't really expect to see you here. I thought you had some other fate, or a greater one. I remember when you were but a boy from the exhibition, dreaming of one day remembering the face of his mother. Was that why you opened the airlock at the Botanical Gardens? Look at you now. I'll be returning to the metro soon. But you... The sun never rises here, Artyom. You can't stop this train. Can't ever get off it. There are not stations in this world. He who has enough courage and patience to stare into the darkness for his entire life shall be the first to see the flash of light. Remember that? Why then? Not enough patience?
So what if there are no stations here? Who'd want to stop anyway? Come on, you hunk of iron. Pick up some speed. We'll shake this place up. Make all the dead look alive.
Well, it is time for me to leave. And you, tell everyone I said hi. I'll give your regards to whoever I see back home.
Forget him. Come, I'm making you chief mate. We're in for a long voyage, an eternal one. I'm going to need some help. So what are you waiting for? Huh? An apology? Not likely to happen, Artyom. Everyone does what he must. A soldier's duty is to shoot the enemy, not ask questions. You did what you could. I did what I could. And we did it all right. We gave it all. Let the living sort out the rest. Hey, what's that? This is weird. The first time I saw anything like that here. Look, how about we try to stop this thing, huh? Give me a hand. Come on! Well, Artyom, go take a look. You can leave the ship for now.
It's not fair. We found a place to be happy, and now you leave? We couldn't have the life we dreamed of, but you went and gave up everything for me. I hate you for that. I hate to see you go. I hate to stay here alone. But I will, because I love you. I love you so much. Goodbye, Artyom.
For some context, all of those characters on that train are characters who died in the first two games, 2033 and Last Light, excluding Miller, of course, who just died. This game, for all of its terrible death loops and annoying mechanics, is still a good story with good characters, and I did enjoy it. The voice acting was at times not very good, and the gameplay was ultimately the biggest flaw, but still, especially if it's on sale for like $5 as it was for me when I picked it up, I'd highly recommend playing through it. This video took about 2 months to make, which it sort of wasn't supposed to. I was hoping to get it done in like early October so I could get to work on my next video, which may or may not be about Red Dead Redemption 2 early, but for a few reasons, including getting sick, I basically had to finish it right at the end of the month. Also, just in case you're wondering, the ending in which Artyom lives is more likely the canon ending, considering it'd be kind of underwhelming for him to die to radiation, factoring in the 2 previous games. Oh, and also, Miller's death is not dependent on how you play. He always dies. With all that being said, thank you for watching, and goodbye.